I want to talk about the heart of God. As I've grown in my love towards God, one thing that I've noticed that is He has this unhuman-like characteristic that He is not affected by us unless He chooses to be so. We could yell at Him and curse His name and blame Him for everything, and He would still see us the same. We could be angry and just full of hatred towards Him, and His love for us would not change. He has every right to give up on humanity. He has for centuries. But there always seems to be someone that holds back the rain and holds back the fire, because He has this unconditional love towards us. See, things like time and space, life and death are only human restraints. We can't see beyond our limitations, therefore we often refuse to see God outside of them. Why did this happen, God? Where were you? We ask God after the fact, as if He should have stepped in and changed everything and blocked all harm our way. They say that life is unfair, but God is just. But isn't God life? When we truly strip away our human ideologies, our human perceptions, that's when we can truly understand God's love towards us. When we see that this is but a vapor, and one day we soon will live forever. See, God is a gentleman. He's a heart surgeon that won't perform surgery without consent. Why would He fix something that you're already fixing? See, God doesn't desire perfection. He already is that. God desires honesty, surrender. God, in all of His glory, decided that He, the Lord of the universe, would not only become one of us, but that He would live in the hearts of us, that He would feel the pain that we feel day in and day out. See, He had nothing to lose and really not much to gain, but He came anyways. He allowed Himself to feel as we do. He allowed Himself to feel rejection and hurt and pain and loss. See, our sympathetic Creator became our empathetic Savior. He chose to let us hurt Him time and time again. He chose to feel our rejection. He chose to feel our hatred towards Him, our bitterness, taking the blame for everything, but doing everything He could to show us that He still cared and He's always here. See, the skeptics say, if there's a God in the world, then why is there evil? We give power to the darkness, but we deny the light. If there's not a God in the world, then why is there good? We can't fight the darkness without the light. When life brings you a bitter pill to swallow, you don't blame the doctor, but you have to understand we're in a self-destructing universe, and the only hope we have is Him. We must allow Him where He already is. He wants to bring us peace. He wants to bring us joy. He wants to ease the pain that we feel in our day-to-day living. Oftentimes, it is we that break our own hearts when we don't read His word, when we make up our own plans. Then we want to blame God. How does that make sense? God is the last person to get angry at, because He has given everything for each and every one of us. He gave His life, and He continually gives us mercy and grace and another chance. So how come an eternal God would allow Himself to be affected by imperfect humans? Because He loves us. Heartbreak doesn't mean that love doesn't exist. It just means you haven't found it yet, or you've forgotten your first love. God didn't die for junk. So what breaks God's heart? When you see yourself like your adversary sees you. That's what breaks His heart. When you hate your brother and you tear others down with your words, that breaks His heart. When you hurt because you've been hurt, when you disappoint because you've been disappointed, you become a part of a cycle that there is no winning. You're breaking God's heart. See, man chose a life of good and evil, but Christ came and died so that we could have a chance at a better life than this. This is not it. This is just the beginning. It's okay to be heartbroken by the cares of this life. But there is a healer. There's one who heals more than bones, but he heals hearts. So instead of continually breaking God's heart by turning your back on him, turn to the one who always has your back, who has loved you from the very beginning and will love you to the end. Give him the broken pieces and let him put it back together again. God bless.